Hi everyone, it's Tarnished Treasures, and I went to an estate sale on Saturday and I spent $20. It was the type of sale that you just made a big pile and, offered something. So I offered $20 and they were quite pleased with that. I probably could have added more to it and still spent the same, but I got 2 or 3 bags worth of things. I did get a bunch of tea towels and I used those at work to wash our paintbrushes and our hands off and rags. So that was, I had posted a picture on Instagram. So one of those was just a big bag of linens. And then I did find a lot of vintage Christmas things that are quite old and also have provenance because they have the dates on the bottom. So very excited. I purchased these 2 bottle brush trees. They are not in the best condition and they are not in the worst condition as far as trees I've found. But these are nice to have because if you were to find a really good tree that was missing a base, you now would have an authentic base to fix it with. There was a bag of these putz houses. There are some missing pieces. They need to be dusted off and some things kind of replaced and fixed up. So I think that that will be a nice craft project. I can tell that the woman who owned these liked to do what I do to things because you can see this modern iridescent glitter has been added. I can tell that this wreath was made and added on. And I'll share with you another piece that I purchased that she had worked on a little bit. So one of these has a little note on it. It says from Grandma Jackson, 1942. And I think that that is a price tag, even though there isn't a cent sign after it. I do think that's how prices were marked. And then very, very faintly right here, I can see that it's stamped Japan in some bigger letters. I really like the color on this one. Here is a smaller one, made in Japan. And I think that that one will be nice as well. I found another glass tree. I'm so excited. I think I'm up to 6 or 7, and I love to group these together and sprinkle them around in my corner cabinet. This, I would assume, is some part of a nativity scene. It has the mica flakes, so nature's glitter. And on the bottom, a lot of those nativity scenes were made in Germany and stamped like that. It says 1928. So I will add this to the sets that I purchased, I think about 2 or 3 weekends ago. And when I set them up, use that in the display. There was this sterling spoon and it was actually broken. So I have fixed it. I polished it up first. And right there, now that's upside down, it says sterling. And this shell handle had broken into 2 pieces. So I chiseled out the cement and just glued it back together. I don't really plan on using this as a serving piece, but definitely as a display piece in my corner cabinet. And it didn't take too much work to fix. And hanging on one of the knobs on a cabinet was this tassel. I love to hang tassels from my own. And it's very interesting because a lot of them look like pineapples, but some have the tops and some don't. And I've never come across a tassel like that. In the bottom of the bag that had the putz houses in it was this Santa and reindeer, which was a really exciting find when I pulled everything out. And you can see they're all there. And little Santa, and he has some paint loss, but I feel like he has the perfect amount. I absolutely love it. It shows its age, but is in nice shape, and that's marked Japan. Then there was a little grouping of these metal figures, which will be very nice to craft with. And I have purchased, I don't know, 1 or 2 of these in the past. You can see he's articulated, so he moves, and one other one does. His arm moves. And on the bottom, it is stamped made in England and Britain's limited. I think they're like from the 70s or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but they're such a nice size, and it came with this bench as well. So that's just great for my crafting. And then, I could have gotten so much at this sale, but I only have a limited amount of space. So I got this little whistle, which I do think that I have one similar to this, but I'm going to take this to school. It will be a very nice still life prop for the kids to paint. I couldn't pass up this little bathtub. I might do a little bath assemblage, but it had a metal scallop shell soap holder, and then the fixtures were metal, and they look like, I don't know, like they have swan necks or something like that. I thought that was definitely unique. And I thought this would be a nice still life prop as well. And this one is marked Made in the USA, Wolverine. There was a set of these wooden dolls that all have little bobbleheads that go back and forth, and they're all marked Japan. I thought those would be good to craft with. A little Whitman book. They had more, but they were in really bad shape. So I picked this one up because I'm always drawn to botanical drawings. I love radishes and the radish motif in art. And there's a little page in here that has all the different seed packets and little, illustrations. I just really, really enjoy that. And I will put that with my little collection of my Whitman books. There was this angel in the little curio cabinet. She is in fabulous shape, and it has a light blue stamp that says Germany. And a lot of times Goebel would mark theirs with that light blue. And this might be a Goebel, and they just might not have had enough space to put like its logo or name. But regardless, I think that that's very nice. Little pill box with some abalone, and it is marked Mexico, I think that says alpaca, and that might be silver. And then I found these cards from a card game that's called Dandy Candy, and these go for a lot on eBay because people really like to craft with them, or on Etsy you'll find somebody who scanned them in, and then you can like buy like a digital image to collage with. So I do have one set that I did buy on eBay because I mean, how can you not have this? And this game is the reason why I always check the toy room, the toys, and the games at estate sales, hoping to find them. So I dug and dug, and these were the only ones that I could find, so I don't know where the other ones went. And there was half of the broken card box that was there. But I was very happy to find these two because these are my favorites. So that is really awesome. I was so excited to find this piece in the basement. It is made from that same paper mache, like pressed paper pulp that the jack-o'-lanterns are made out of. And those are highly sought after and expensive because the material is just a fragile material that doesn't hold up to the elements. So I thought that this one was in pretty good shape. Now, there are some things that were broken and missing with this sculpture, and they had glued a lot of things on it from the dollar store that were very modern. So taking all of that into consideration, I am working on fixing it up. So as far as bringing back the color and just like cleaning it up and not making it dusty, I have painted the base white. I am going to give it another coat and sprinkle some clear glitter because that will make it look like the original. There's a missing deer, so I'm going to try and replace that and be on some lookout for some horns there. This is where they glued little packages from the dollar store, so I'm going to try and find something that is more in keeping with the time period of the piece. I think I'll add some mercury bead garlands in there and maybe wrap some packages with some vintage wrapping paper. And the two bottle brush trees that were on the back were brown and falling apart. So I replaced the taller tree with this green tree that I have, and I had this snowman, and I thought the colors would work perfectly. Plus, it would really make sense that a snowman would be outside in this type of steam. But the thing that is really awesome, if it's not cool enough, the celluloid deer and the paper mache Santa and the bottle brush tree, but they wrote the date on the bottom of this, and it says 1922. I got a little bit of ephemera. I think that this is so neat. Our baby wishes your baby a very Merry Christmas. I mean, how could you resist that? Some interesting pictures that I might craft with. I kind of like the evolution of them across. Got this envelope. It's got some awesome stamp on it, and it's from Los Angeles in the 1940s. And some sheet music. Santa Claus is coming to town, and on the inside, the date says 34. Although, I never know with those dates. Is that like originally when it was, and then this was printed later? But it definitely has a very old feeling. And that is something that I will definitely be framing up for this Christmas. I found 2 frames. I really like this oval wood one, and that's actually gold on wood. And I plan on probably putting a photograph or a piece of art in the wooden one and sticking it in my son's room. And I do believe that this one is older. It's got a wood back, and then it has these little like brass hooks to be wired. And then this one has a subtle Art Nouveau feeling to it. And it's definitely taller than most frames, or it's just a little bit of a different size. And since I had picked up this sheet music, I know it's hard to pull back and show it, but you can see that that sheet music would actually fit in there quite nicely. I don't think that I'm going to put this in that frame, but if something came along that was like maybe a different piece of sheet music, I don't really feel like the style of this goes with that frame. I'm not seeing that. But another piece of sheet music that would look nice in there, or I plan on doing some more things with paper dolls. So that could be a nice piece to put some of my paper doll collages in. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing everything. Tell me what your favorite piece was. I would love to know, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.